Collaborative is a team of AmeriCorps members doing ecological restoration work all over the Portland, Vancouver area at city governments, nonprofits, county parks, state parks, and we chose the name Ecological Love Collaborative at the beginning of the year. And I think it's a great name for our team because they clearly love doing environmental work and taking care of the earth, and they love working together to get things done. So this is just a sneak peek of the amazing work that the ELK team is doing so far this year. So what brought you to be doing environmental service work?
Because I want to save the world, because it needs saving, and I like going outdoors, because sitting in front of a computer is not my cup of tea.
At Mount State Park, and this is a project that was completed by the Estacada Boy Scouts last winter in 2008 and 2009. Had a very bad flood that came through here, and it undermined the bridge, and the bridge was tilted in that direction, and there weren't any handrails. So the Eagle Scouts came in December and rejacked the bridge up and put on the handrails because of liability issue. It's about a 6-foot drop down to the creek, so the handrails are very important to be able to put in to keep people safe. And we're going to be completing those, tearing those steps out, and we're going to put in new steps, and there's a lot more trail work that has to be done, and hopefully everybody can come out and see what Mount Park has to offer.
This is Nettle Creek. This is my site, and I like doing environmental service because I like increasing the stream quality and creating more wildlife habitat, and it's really beautiful out here. At Nettle Creek we're doing restoration. We got a grant to put in plants and remove invasives and help put up erosion fabric and do all kinds of other things. I ordered the plants, I got them here, and I got the volunteers here, and we're doing great. We're ahead of schedule. Put in over 200 plants, native trees and shrubs.
So we just were out here planting a tree here in Albina in North Portland with Friends of Trees. It's a river birch, and I've been doing plantings since November with Friends of Trees as part of my service. And we do plantings every weekend, sometimes 2 a weekend. And it's just a great way to get out in the neighborhood and both get people to create a sense of community and talk to other people, but also to get a chunk of trees in the ground and really change the feel of the neighborhood and make it feel more friendly and greener. And it's cool going around the neighborhoods and seeing all the places that we've planted already. I really like planting trees with Friends of Trees just because it seems like a great way to not only have environmental benefits like reducing stormwater runoff and making neighborhoods more beautiful and greener, helping clean the air, and also help with taking in CO2 for climate change, but it's also just a great way for people in the neighborhood to get out and be involved in nature and meet each other, which is really fun.
I'm Matt Wiener, and this is North Clackamas Park, which is one of my AmeriCorps restoration sites, and here we are along Clackamas Creek, where we've done a lot of planting of native wetland species. I think this and other types of restoration work are important because we're bridging the gap between the developed and undeveloped worlds, and it's good for people to experience a little bit of natural in their lives.
Around me is a pretty cool, significant site because it's one of the last forested floodplains left in the Columbia Canoe watershed. And I've been working here with my site trying to restore some of the understory diversity as well as some of the wetland shrubs. Observe the smooth sedge coming up in the background as well as the soft brush. Thick cottonwood canopy. Pretty sweet place to work. I like it. There's otters and nutrient beavers hanging out in this pond. And I get to come back here with a bunch of second graders and
Hi, I'm Nicole, and we're at the Peg Tree, one of the trees of the Century Tree Project that I've been working on here for in Lake Oswego. To celebrate the centennial, we're honoring all the over 100-year-old trees in Lake Oswego, as many as we can anyway. And so far there are 21 century trees, and the Peg Tree is one of the most famous trees in Lake Oswego because it was used by the early settlers as a meeting place. They had the first Sunday school meetings here underneath the tree, and they also had town meetings underneath this tree, and there was a peg that stuck out of the side with a lantern so they could light the meetings that were at night.
So this is kind of what we're hoping for, is that, you know, neighbors see neighbors planting trees and they want to get in on the action and improve the community as a whole with as many trees as possible. And that's why I love doing what I do, because it's just, you see it grow clump by clump, and pretty soon Vancouver will have a really healthy tree canopy again.
Welcome to the Johnson Creek Watershed Council Watershed-wide event. This site is Butler Creek Restoration Site. It's a site that I manage for my AmeriCorps term. Today we are planting over 700 trees and shrubs, and we've got at least 50, maybe even 80 volunteers out here to help us. And that's what I really enjoy about my job, is getting people out here, getting them engaged in the environment. To me, it's really important. I think we all need to be outdoors in order to be healthy, and so I really like sharing that with other people. I also really enjoy leading them. I've seen quite a few folks out here today that are doing a great job of making sure that everyone around them has fun and is planting the trees well. I love having the children out here and getting them engaged in all this work. They seem to be having a really great time also.
So I'm out here on the north corner of the refuge, and we're pulling ivy because ivy is an invasive plant, and it's really important to get rid of it because it doesn't belong in this environment, and it was introduced here, and it's really vigorous, and it's taking over some of our native environments, which is really important to me, and it doesn't die naturally. The climate isn't conducive to killing it every winter, so I'm just out here trying to preserve this habitat.
Well, welcome to Women in Science Day here at Solve. This is one of our 72 restoration sites in the metro area. This is the Beaverton Creek Tributary site here in Aloha. And Women in Science Day was an event I helped coordinate and help recruit volunteers for that brings together mentors in science professional careers along with students to learn about those careers. So we spend the morning planting trees, helping to stabilize the soil, shade the creeks, provide habitat for wildlife. And then in the afternoon we move to a school nearby where we have lunch provided, and the mentors and the students get to talk more about how'd they get into their careers, what are they interested in, things like that. And I've done this as part of my AmeriCorps service, and one of the main reasons I did AmeriCorps is I love being outside on a beautiful day like this. And service has always been very important for me, so environmental service. It makes sense. It's just something that I enjoy doing, and I hope to continue doing it as I go along.